Well, as the state of Tennessee takes over Memphis-Shelby County Schools, one Frayser school has a lesson for everyone.
Indeed.
It's called Libertas, Latin for freedom, a fitting name as America celebrates its 250th birthday.
Indeed. And so it's located in one of Memphis's most impoverished zip codes. Libertas, though, has a wait list, listen to this, of 300 students. And here's why. This publicly funded school has tapped into a secret sauce that's launching its students into the top 15% academically in Tennessee.
We're so thrilled to be able to show that kids in Frayser are growing and achieving at the top of the state.
Bob Nardo, founding executive director of Libertas School of Memphis, told Memphis Rotary Club about a revolution in education underway in Frayser.
Public education in Memphis is not a hopeless phrase, right, that implies failure, but actually is an exemplar of what children anywhere can do.
The Libertas School website features a video with parents and teachers raving about what happens for the 750 students here.
My children came into this building one way and they walked out excited with wonder. They walked out with motivation.
Libertas is the first public Montessori charter school in Tennessee, which means that we offer the unique human-centered learning method of Dr. Maria Montessori. She developed a system in which children learn from the hand to the mind.
Students use their hands to cut up sentences instead of diagramming them and count objects on classroom floors to grasp mathematics, learning at their own pace on a personalized path.
When you organize the learning environment, not like a factory that's convenient for adults to run, but based on the developmental needs of children.
This is our original design.
How'd that one perform?
It got 12.2 pounds.
You guys have 12 pounds on this?
Yeah.
Not bad. Independent schools where people pay $10,000 or $15,000 a year in private school tuition to get what we're offering students as a free, open public education in Frayser.
Nardo came to Tennessee in 2012 as Chief Operating Officer of the state's school transformation efforts. He kept returning to ground zero, Frayser, where all 12 public schools were failing. He put down roots, rallied support, and transformed the former Brookmead Elementary into Libertas, a nonprofit charter independent of MSCS. Banners celebrating Tennessee's top academic achievement now hang around the entrance.
And we run a public school on behalf of the public, but with independence, with autonomy. So you can choose your own curriculum. You can hire your own teachers, right? You can innovate in the way that you serve children.
Frayser has a 64% poverty rate, quadruple the national average. On top of that challenge, Libertas welcomes many students with special needs.
In order to teach this incredibly challenging model, what do we need? Fabulous teachers, okay? And when you can't find them, you grow them yourself. And so 6 years ago, the state of Tennessee approved our school to actually operate a licensed teacher training program.
That program now trains Montessori teachers across Tennessee and beyond. They've exceeded the state's academic expectations every year for the last 6 years.
They're outperforming their peers in the community, and they have virtually closed the gap with the state. We're a two-time reward school. This is the highest distinction for academics that a school in Tennessee can get. You're used to seeing this when you drive around in Collierville and Germantown. You're not used to seeing this in Frayser, but now our students are showing you they can perform among the absolute best.
A recent $7 million campaign opened a new middle school on the former Southwest Tennessee Community College Frayser campus. A Montessori high school is next.
We've become a destination to the point that we have over 300 people on our waiting list who want to come to Frayser to be part of public Montessori education.
Oh, there is so much more to tell. Work is a major element of the Montessori method. So the kids have built birdhouses, a greenhouse, and when that high school becomes a reality, Libertas students will construct a single family home once a year with mentors coming from all the trades throughout the Frayser community. To learn more, check out our story on the Impact Team tab at actionnews5.com.